For everything there is a season, a time for every desire under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to keep and a time to give away, a time to keep silent and a time to speak.
If there were words ever spoken appropriate for this moment, I haven't heard them. If there were lines ever written that could bring some comfort from the pain, I haven't read them. Today there are only questions, and sadly, not many answers. We know that death is painful for those of us left behind. And today there are no adjectives to describe the pain and heartache that penetrates our JCC. So we are here to say farewell to our friend, Juan Arico, a brother to Daniel, a brother-in-law to Sherry, a son to Norma and Juan, a genuine friend to all of us who are here today. Words are difficult because we're brokenhearted. Indeed, this is a time of unbelievable sadness, especially because death came so quickly. Juan left at such a young, vibrant age. There was so much undone, unlived, and unsaid. I asked my rabbi, what's the difference between the death of someone young and the death of someone old? He quoted Rabbi Judah. He said it's like a candle that sheds a brilliant and inspiring light. When the candle is able to burn of its own accord, then it's good for the candle as well as the wick, as it has fulfilled its duty. But when it's snuffed out too early, then it's bad for the candle and the wick, for it has not fulfilled its purpose. Today we know that tragedy, for Juan stopped shedding his brilliant light when it had only burned halfway. But today we're also here to remember the wonderful gift that he gave us. And that gift was knowing Juan and being part of his life as he was part of ours. He was an inspiration. He made each and every one of us feel that we were his friend forever, and that was his unique gift. He asked about our day, our family, our tennis game, our sisters, our kids, our brothers, our parents. He always made us feel that we were the center of the world. I've spent the last days fielding phone calls, talking, responding to emails, and each has a story to tell. About the recent dinner at home with Juan, about their family's mitzvah that he just attended, about the visit to the lake he made with them, about the restaurant he went to with friends, about the songs he played and the pictures he took. I heard that he called just to say hello. I heard how he texted and spread cheer before each match. I heard how he helped our friend Evan set up his Facebook page so that he can connect with his friends. I heard how he traveled annually to Destin with a large group. I heard how he partied with the team from work just this last weekend. And Juan was my friend and coach as well. I looked at my own inbox and started sorting all his emails. There were so many, several each week, and they all began with something positive, some kind of, "that a girl," "how are you," "hope you had a good practice." It was always, always, always about us and not about him. I'm going to let Juan tell you in his own words just how unique he was. I found this email that he sent just last summer. He sent it to my colleague Janelle. "Janelle, wish you and P are doing just great." The reason of this email is because I want to make a donation to the J, and if possible, the tennis department. The reason is the most important thing. It's not the amount. I know I'm a good guy, but I'm not doing it because of that. Before 2003, the MJCCA was not on my radar at all. And Israel was just another country, another religion, another place far in the world. Many things happened since then, some good and some not so. But every day I get here and it is like coming home with open arms, wonderful smiles of members and employees, from maintenance to the upstairs world. That's what he called us. The MJCCA gave me friends, and the friends became my family. The MJCCA gave me good reasons to try my best to be a better person. The MJCCA gave me the chance to see my kids grow and become men. So it is not because I'm a good guy. It's because the MJCCA was always there for me, especially more than a year ago when I had the injury. Right away, Gail and Jared came to my office to tell me that it was going to be okay. This is just money, but it's a way to say thanks to people like you and everyone at home that worked so hard to make a difference. Thank you for that, Juan. Every one of us has an intimate Juan story, something that makes us feel like we really, really, really knew him. But what we didn't know is how he struggled, how he worked to put on that happy face every day. What an effort it must have been, and how we love him for having made that effort. There was something in his life he could not control, something greater than himself. He left us too soon, and that's not the memory he would have wanted us to have. We are all full of regrets. We didn't have time to join him at the Ronald McDonald House. We didn't have time to take another lesson. We didn't have time for another dinner or a cup of coffee. But today is not about regrets. It's about remembering the stories and lessons he taught us. It's about the values that he translated to us all. That wonderful, caring smile that greeted us every time we saw him. That shout from the court, "Hey, Gail." We did bring joy to him, just as he did to us. I found another email in my box. One morning I awoke really early and I saw that Juan had just sent me a message with some pictures attached. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. This is what the message said. "Hi all, here's a picture of Caitlin, and this morning she's having surgery. Last night while we were playing tennis, her mom came to me with tears in her eyes and told me, "Thanks, Juan. This is the first time she's laughing in the last month." I just went right up to her and gave her a hug and told her that everything was going to be all right. Caitlin told me her dream for Christmas was to have her own guitar, and now I'm on the hunt for it. Caitlin and her sister Christine said at the end of the night, "We won't forget this night." I won't forget it either. Well, Juan did go out and buy the guitar, and Caitlin was special, just like the rest of us. He was going to make her feel that she was the only one. There was just one problem. Caitlin went home, and Juan couldn't find the family. He told Ashley, his colleague, how he was looking. He continued to return to the Ronald McDonald House to work with other kids, but always thought of the guitar and Caitlin. Lo and behold, Facebook. On Wednesday, there was so much posted about Juan that Ashley was able to find Caitlin and talk to her online. And now Juan's magnanimousness lives on. Kristen, Caitlin, Charles and Kathy, Caroline, if you're here, can you come up and get the guitar that Juan has left for you to have? Today we come together as a community because that's what we do here at the JCC. We play together, we grow together, we make friends together, and we mourn together. Our job today is to find meaning in Juan's life. To preserve his memory is a way of keeping him alive. Thank you, Juan, for the gift of knowing you, for the lesson of selflessness, generosity, and patience that you taught us. Thank you, Juan, for the years that we were able to share with you. In our memories, you will always be with us. And may your memory be forever a blessing.
I will try. I can't, but I will. Just give me a minute. I know he's watching. Our friend for us, Anka. And on behalf of my family, I'm very honored to be here and trying to share some of the stories or short stories about our friend, my dear friend, Anka. You know a lot of the stories, it's craziness, and if I can do it, I think I'm gonna sing a song. Since following Anka and his guitars and dancing, my song might be a little bit more normal. All these pictures keep coming through my head and make me smile, makes me remember how he was, and the way I see him, because I see him live as a superhero. He was always ready to jump in and help out. And somebody remind me of the story of, and some of you kids here and remember the Superman, when he tell the kids, go pick up balls quick and I'll do the Superman. And he will go jump the fence, run from the baseline to the fence. And so one time he came to my club and I said, Anka, you gotta do me a favor, you gotta do the Superman, man. And I explained to the kids that only Anka can do the Superman because he's the superhero for me. And he did it, and it was funny, and the kids knew that was it. They will have to come play tennis here to do it. The other one is when our superhero Anka dressed up as Batman in his underwear. That was Anka. He didn't care really much about those things. And the other one, I guess he's not a superhero, but for our daughter's birthday was a Star Wars party, and he dressed up as Darth Vader. And for the girls, he looked like a giant super Darth Vader. But the funny thing is that first they all ran away, and then they knew that was Anka because he could be the only one doing such a things. And that was Anka, and that was, our superhero, call him what time, anytime, and he's there responding to the bat sign up there in the sky, and he comes and never asks for anything. And I wish he would. He didn't need a costume. I guess I see here a lot of Adidas, and that was his costume, I guess. I don't know. He was always there when you needed, when we needed, when anybody needed. Anywhere, anytime. He was a superhero for my dog. When we had a little accident with our dog, he will walk the dog and take the dog. So he was not only for humans that he took care of our guinea pigs when we go out of town, come and feed them, the dog, and I mean, his generosity, his everything. We had to tell him to stop, but we're going to miss him. I don't know, I can't understand my writing here anymore, but, well, I guess not always was a good relationship with Juan and I. We got a little bit of a, how you call them, a little situation. We had a pact that, and it came out, without being a pact, became a pact where I follow soccer. I can't say that I changed my working schedule to watch soccer because I know some of you are here from the club, but I will not dare to do that. But so I will be there, and one day my team is not doing so well, so it's a rough time for me, and we're about to win after a few weeks, which is making me happy. So, but the deal was the game must be over for the call. If we lose, of course, he didn't call in sign of respect because he was very respectful, So the game is not over. 20 seconds left. We're winning, and the phone rings. And I'm like, "Who is it? Let the phone ring." It's 20 seconds left. 19, 15. The message going on. And all of a sudden, 10 seconds left on TV, the phone is ringing. And there goes Anka. Vamos! That's all he needed to say. At the same time he says that, we got scored. I ran. I said, "What are you doing, man? You're killing me. Can you believe what?" I said, "I can't talk to you right now. You just kill me, man. You just..." Took a couple days to calm down. And then I called him again, and I said, okay, you better watch out next time you call me. Then we continued this for the longest time. Actually, I will call when my team loses because I knew he was there. And nobody can understand my feelings about this. But he was there, I knew. And he didn't care about soccer. That was a funny thing. But he knew everything about my team. He needed to be able to go along with me what was going on. And he was there. And, you know, from silly things like that to the big pictures, you know, through rough times at home and everything. But he's always there. So I think in honor of my friend Juan, we're going to all sing a song for him that I wrote. It's a very, very important song, and it's a cheerful song. And but everybody gotta sing it. And if you got something, you have to go like this. And the camera gotta go like that. Because, there we go, it's one in the back. There we go. Ryan, you understand. So the song goes like this. Ole, 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 Anka, Anka. Everybody, let's go. Thank you, and Anka.
My name is Nancy Rosing. I'm a good friend of Juan's. As a matter of fact, my husband refers to him as my wife's boyfriend. Just so you know, I am not his girlfriend. I never even got to touch his hair. I think that's just Mark's way of saying he knows how much I love Juan. But our whole family does. He's been like part of our family. I had a very difficult time trying to figure out what to say today. And a friend of mine called me the other day who knows Juan, and he said all these wonderful things about him. But he summed it up by saying, you know, he just had a pep in his step every day. And I said, yeah, but that wasn't a pep, that was a bad hip. But all those other things he said were true. So what am I going to tell you about Juan in 3 minutes that you don't already know? You're all here today because you know Juan. People aren't here because they heard that the JCC was honoring someone today. All these people here are here because they call themselves Juan's friend. That is what was so special about him. There hasn't been a day in the last, or a Tuesday in the last 8 years that I have been here on this court when there wasn't a parade of his friends walking by. Just about every person that walked by the tennis court during that hour I was here had a big smile on their face and something to say to Juan. From the 2-year-olds in their diapers, walking along, holding on that tow rope, to the seniors with their walkers, shuffling along. Everyone loved Juan, and everyone just wanted to make him part of their day. A JCC employee told me last night that she deliberately parks way over there, inconveniently, just so that she would have to walk by the courts and she could see Juan every day. Juan had the ability to make each person feel like they were his friend and they were special. But he was the special one. He touched more people in his life than I'll probably even ever know in my lifetime. The effects of his kind, caring, giving, silly being on and off the court reached far beyond the JCC or the Ronald McDonald House or Atlanta, Destin, Michigan, and Argentina. He always had a new idea of how he was going to give back or teach or inspire or create fun and excitement, especially for the kids. I know I will have him in my heart forever, wherever I am. And I will have his voice and his not-so-perfect English in my head every time I step foot on the court. Partly because that's where I'll feel closest to him, and partly because I've been making the same mistakes year after year after year, and he has repeated those words 1,000,000 times. Te amo, amigo. A few times each summer, Juan would grab his guitar and take to the gym in order to sing to the camp kids. It was such a treat. Here's Say Something.
Thank you.
Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving better and happier. Be the living expression of God's kindness. Kindness in your face, kindness in your eyes, kindness in your smile, kindness in your warm greeting. What do you think that sounds like? If he was here, he would tell me this is getting we need to make it a little happier. So I think if we were taking a picture out on the courts, all the kids kind of know what Coach Juan would say, right? What do you have to say? Anybody give me somebody? Come on. He wanted you to say, "We love tennis," right? You stick your racket up, you scream, "We love tennis." So where are the kids? Okay, this is for Coach Juan, right? I want you to pretend like you got a tennis racket in your hand. I want you to stick it up in the air. On the count of 3, I want you to say, "We love tennis." Your parents can do it too. Okay? 1, 2, 3. We love tennis. All right, that was not very good. He'd make you do that again. You know that, right? Some people in the front row. You guys got to be louder than that. Okay, last time. Make it loud so he can hear you. 1, 2, 3. We love tennis. Much better. I think he would like that. You know, we're all a family, and Juan is part of our family. And today we're here to really celebrate Juan. And so I'm going to read a quick poem, or saying. It's some of you may have heard it. It's called The Dash. And I think this is who Juan is, and I think this is how we will remember him. I read of a man who stood to talk of a friend. He referred to the dates he lived from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of his birth and spoke the following date with tears, but he said what mattered most of all was the dash between the years. For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel. And be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your story is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spend your dash? As a tribute to Juan, make sure you live your dash.
Wow. I've always known that Juan had an amazing ability to touch everyone's lives around him and to form connections with the people that he was with. But this is amazing. Hi guys, I'm Justin Fleischman. I'm 18 years old, and I've now been a friend of Juan for a majority of my life. I began lessons with him around 8 or 9. I was on and off in his tennis camp program. We had an Alta team, killed it. We actually stuck together for almost a decade with the same core members and a few changes. And I can honestly say that some of my best memories from Atlanta before I moved off to college were on these tennis courts with Juan and with my friends, Juan included. I first knew him as a kid, as one of his students. And I'd like to say, on behalf of the kids that he has taught and touched, that he has always been incredible. He had an ability to keep things lighthearted, but at the same time to keep you motivated. Whether he was shortening a backswing, or he was making you run laps for not listening to him, he always kept everything fun. He had another impersonation. He had his Superman. He had a personality that really caught fire with everyone he was around. And it has been my pleasure to be able to be with him for that time. If any of the kids here can remember, any of the kids that have attended his summer camp programs, ever remember a day, you cannot forget the first 30 minutes when you get here. We devoted that time. We planned our day out, but the first 30 minutes were blocked out just for Juan to entertain the kids. He would have something else every time. He'd make us staff members spin around on a tennis racket and try to hit a ball. He'd make us dress up as a dragon. He would have some dance. He'd sing a song on his guitar. He was always in touch with the kids, always fun, always moving, upbeat. And as my relationship with him progressed from a student to one of the lucky employees at tennis camp for the last few years, along with some other members that are here today, I really got to see a more personal side of him. Got to see who he was as a person off the court and around. It was always fun working for him, whether he was telling you to check the locker room to make sure all the kids had changed after the pool, or you were just like making sure no one wandered off the court. Everything he said was direct, and we were all loyal to him because we trusted him and loved him. It was sometimes a little hard to work for him because you'd walk through the JCC to do a simple task, and you'd have to stop by at least 5 people to say hi, check on their day. He was amazing at keeping up with people, recognizing faces. I don't know how he did it. I'd meet someone with him. He'd see them the next day, and I would have just like missed them. It's amazing. And everyone also seemed to have an inside joke with the man. He was amazing at creating things. Whether it's a galloping peacock dance, or, as he did with my good friend Josh, he had an inside joke where my friend actually complained that he couldn't focus on his serve, and whenever there were other noises or things moving behind him, he'd lost his focus. And so during practices, when he would toss up his serve, Juan would yell at him, "He went to Jared," because that was a popular commercial at the time. And it became an inside joke. It became a thing. I was on his tennis team. He would just say it at random times. We didn't get it at first, but it just caught on. And one of my favorite memories was last year. It was our final run as an Alta team, the same core group of kids. And it was city finals. And I remember I was on the court next to Josh. Josh hit this smoking ace. It was beautiful. But I was focused on my match. I didn't really see it. And then out of nowhere, from the stands, I just hear, like, in a faint voice, "He went to Jared." Every thought always puts a smile on my face. So for everyone here that had or was blessed to be able to hear his impersonation, see him sing or dance, put on a performance, speaking for myself, it truly has been an honor to get to know him. He's been happy, he's been fun, and I hope that as you all think of him, you always get a smile on your face. Juan, rest in peace. Thank you.
We'd like to invite up all of our team captains.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You make me lie down in green pastures. You lead me beside the still waters. You restore my soul. You guide me in the paths of righteousness for your name's sake. Even when I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of God forever.
My name is Jared, and I was lucky enough to have known and worked with Juan for 10 years. There's nothing that I can say that hasn't already been said, so instead what I'd like to do is read an email that Juan wrote to all of his day camp team at the end of this summer. This is an email from Juan to all of us, August 6th of this past year. Dear friends, just stay with me on this old story about our summer camp. It was 4 years ago. It was warm and humid Thursday around 12:50 p.m. Me and my entire staff are walking in line to the outdoor pool with 40 kids after lunch. As always, I'm at the end of this long line to be sure that we stay together. I noticed from afar that an adult was watching my kids while also trying to hide from them. So of course I go and confront this person. "Good afternoon," I said, "can I help you?" "Oh, hi, my 2 boys are in tennis camp with you this week." Knowing that it was their dad, I offered him to come to the line and say hi to them, and here's where the story starts. He said, "Thanks, Juan, but no. In 3 hours I have to go to surgery and the doctors gave me a 50-50 chance. I just want to see them one more time because maybe today is the last day I see them." I just could not say anything after that. I saw a dad, a human being full of love, almost saying goodbye to the ones he loved the most. But no worries, because this story has a happy ending. A month after the surgery, both Mom and Dad called to tell me that in the worst days of their lives, at least they knew that the kids were happy here with us, and that provided a bit of energy for them. This Thursday afternoon changed me forever, I know. My point is that sometimes I feel like not coming to work. Sometimes it's too hot or too loud, or my coffee is not hot enough. And every time I feel this way, I try to bring this story back to me to understand that all is relative in life, and it's up to us to change a bad day into one to remember. That Thursday afternoon changed me forever, I know. Not just because this is what the center means to our families, but how it can make us better people and how we impact their lives. If you ask me how we are different from Lifetime Fitness or any other place, I just have to remember this story and see the smiles of this family today. Thanks to all of you for a wonderful summer, and thanks for making me feel a part of something good. And that's who Juan was. After the Kaddish, we'd like to invite anybody who wishes to go onto the courts adjacent to these and write a message on a tennis ball and place it in the fence in memory of Juan. And now, Shelley.
God of infinite love, in whose hands are the souls of the living, the spirits of all flesh, we recall Juan Arico, who has gone to his final resting place. Strengthen us, deepen our love with one another, teach us to open our hearts to all those who need us, and move us to reach out to them with our hands, as Juan did. Guide us in our paths and help us find the sincere love that survives all loss and sustains every trial. Send us healing, renew our hope and our faith, and may Juan's memory be for a blessing. Please join me in our traditions, Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'lomei omaya, yitbarach v'ishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu, la'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, Ubarachamav Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. May God, source of perfect peace, send peace to all who mourn, and let us all say, Amen.